Listen, we're all here for Super Bowl Live, Super Bowl 54, and let's dive right into tonight's game. Kickoff is at 6:30 Eastern on Fox. So, guys, when you're watching this 49ers offense, what are you looking for against this Chiefs defense?
I'm looking for the 49ers rushing attack, of course. But what I think most people don't get when they look at what Kyle Shanahan does, it's not just the zone running scheme like his dad used to run. That's what you think. Okay, these old Denver Broncos teams, it's zone, zone, zone. If you watch the NFC Championship, he ran 13 different run concepts in that game. He's running power. He's running trap. You were on that offense.
Yes.
It's not just something where all 5 linemen are moving together. You don't know what they're going to run from play to play. People talk about, oh, there's not as much practice time. We don't have enough practice to install everything we want to do. Kyle Shanahan's got more running game installed than any coach in NFL history. Please.
Okay, you talk about all these different installs, right? Well, one thing I'm really looking forward is the impact of pre-snap motion. I know it sounds kind of strange, but with Joe Staley back at left tackle, the opportunity for Jimmy Garoppolo to pass is increased. It's better, way better. And if you look to see what happens ahead of the ball being snapped, the Chiefs have been duped. Their front has been duped when they've used a lot of pre-snap motion. So for me, the opportunity to kind of get ahead of, I think we're maybe underestimating the impact of like Chris Jones and how much pressure, or we're at least not talking about it as much as we're talking about kind of the opposite, right? The impact of the Niners front. But that the ability for Kyle Shanahan to bring out some tricks that we haven't seen ahead of the snap, try to confuse the defense, that's the key to potentially
You've been in that offense, Hawk. Like, what is it like? What do you see defenses have to adjust to with all this motion?
The tough part about it isn't, it's just set dressing. All the plays are the same, but listen, everything from the pass game to the run game to the play action to the trick plays to all the reverses and the wide zones, they all look the same. They have the same foundation, and it takes 2 and 3 seconds into the play for the defense to diagnose what's really going on.
It almost takes a football genius to figure out what they are doing. And I think the Chiefs do have one, though. Honey Badger, to me, is the key player.
He's really good at not biting on play action.
Right,
really
not falling
good at
for the fake and maybe being one step ahead in general, because otherwise I think they're in trouble. They're going to need him to lock it down.
I agree. Not just him, that entire secondary. So, one of the things I'm focused on is how is this secondary going to get involved in the run game and tackling? Because the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDaniel, they script run plays for touchdowns, which is why you see most there, Breida, all running and not being touched till 5, 6 yards down the field. The DBs have to get involved in this run game, come up and be aggressive in order to stop it.
We did see them do that, though. Like, we did see that happen.
Yes, and they got to keep it going.
And the game script. I think those first 2 drives for both teams are going to be super crucial to set up whose game we're playing, right? Like, so is it this chess or is it that chess?
Yeah, I think when Kyle looks at this Chiefs defense, he sees a lot of holes that he can go after.
I'm sure.
We'll
see
the other way, too.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so let's talk about the other side of the ball. Let's talk Chiefs offense against this record-setting 49ers defense. What are you guys watching for?
Well, I'm looking at Tyreek Hill. Where is he going to be lined up? Like, what's going on all over the the use of him, like little chess piece to match up? Because look, where does Richard Sherman line up? Well, typically on the same side, right? So not moving him around means that you're going to be able to exploit the other defensive backs. So you've got, the opportunity to Akilla Witherspoon's been beaten. We've seen it. I'm not telling him anything we don't know. Emmanuel Mosley has been beaten. We've seen it. So the opportunity to kind of trick, to keep these tricks going is what I think Andy Reid will look at.
And you talked about the Tyreek Hill thing. Also a point for me because even when he's going against Richard Sherman, who's a big corner, long arms, likes to get his hands on people, he matches up well against other big receivers. He doesn't do so great against the shorter, quicker guys off the line.
So you're saying you'd be great against him?
I'm not saying
line
me.
You up against Richard Sherman. Let's go.
Richard Sherman would embarrass me more than I already embarrassed myself on television. But Tyreek Hill, again, he's a matchup nightmare because for little guys, you also say they can't make contested catches. That's not the case for Tyreek.
No, that is not. Cynthia, by the way, sneaky great use of the TrueView technology there.
I mean,
back in the last
Intel.
little segment.
Listen,
hey, we've gotten this far. We haven't talked about Patrick Mahomes. I mean, let's talk a little bit about Patrick Mahomes. He's the closest thing the NFL has had to Michael Jordan since I've been watching football. Roger Goodell, I know he's not supposed to root for one team or another, but wouldn't it be nice for the NFL if Patrick Mahomes won this game? And I think they can because he does not make mistakes. I think that's what people get overlooked. He's not like Brett Favre. He's taking a lot of chances. Yeah, he takes chances, but he doesn't make mistakes. He has 25 combined interceptions, sacks, and fumbles on the year. Jimmy Garoppolo's got 59. And this is a pass-first offense. That's double the amount of big mistakes, big negative plays. Patrick Mahomes does not allow those negative plays to happen. That's one of his greatest skills.
Yeah, and look, if you look to see when it happens, though, the one thing I'm a little bit concerned about is that the Niners don't blitz. They don't need the blitz to get pressure. They're getting a lot of pressure without, and they can drop 7 into coverage. That's really the only time we've seen 16 of Mahomes' 17 interceptions over the past 2 seasons. They were when defenders were when they didn't rush, right? Like they dropped 7 or more back into coverage.
I thought I had a good
one
point,
thing.
but Cynthia kind of came over.
Listen,
that came over the top.
That's why she's the queen,
like
Ray.
All I'm saying is that we're going to have a good game because there's a lot of good, chess matches in this one. Not saying we're not giving anything away.
All right, love it. Don't tease anything because we will get to our picks for the game in just a bit. But first, let's talk some individual players.
Are you guys ready for the Super Bowl edition of Proper Performances delivered by Pizza Hut?
I've been ready my entire life.
Finally, a segment where Hawk and I are standing. We've got it in our contracts. Let's do it.
You got it.
Yes.
I mean, I got a little help. It's all about height on this show. All right, first up, Patrick Mahomes, reigning MVP. Will he have more or less than 2 passing touchdowns?
More. I mean, he might get that in the second quarter alone.
I feel like if you're watching this and you're saying less, you're rooting against Santa Claus on Christmas. Like, if we don't get that out of Mahomes on Super Bowl Sunday, come on.
2 seems like an easy one, right?
Easy.
I like that one. Let's see if we got anything a little harder here. Okay, the model says that Travis Kelce will have more than 6 catches. Do you agree? Catches, not targets. Receptions, catches, hauling the ball in.
I'm going to say he's going to be right at 6.
So is that more? That's not even an answer. I'm going to agree with Cynthia.
That's not even possible.
I've learned that agreeing with Cynthia is the way to go. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And those linebackers are good for San Francisco. No linebacker can cover him. Please.
I think we got it. All right, next up. Let's see. The model says Emmanuel Sanders. See this number? 3. The model says, what are you talking about, fam? We have more than 3 catches.
That's assuming that the 49ers throw more than 3 passes.
I think they have to. They have to in this game. This is going to be a theme, I feel like.
I think we're going to see passes in the 20s, reception numbers in the 20s for Jimmy Garoppolo. And more than 3 of them go to number 17.
I like
their
it.
Number
if
one.
you say it, it's fact.
It's a fact, obviously. Next up, Deebo Samuel, 49 receiving yards. Model says, we're just, you get a touchdown. You get some receiving yards.
I know like we're not allowed to lock it up, but if I had one of these proper performances, that's the most proper. It's Deebo. I could see him going over 100.
Okay, so Jimmy G's going to have a game too then.
A lot of yards after catch against this secondary.
I
love
told you more than 20 catches for receptions for Jimmy G. So.
All right. I like it. Who am I to argue?
I'm not going to argue with that one?
Nope.
Now we have this fun game. This one's new. I brought this one out special for you for the Super Bowl. Who scores a touchdown in Super Bowl 54? You want to know?
You got everybody.
You already know.
I do.
That's why you
It's already
watch that
happened.
show.
I drank the Cuban coffee here, and allegedly you can see the future when you drink Cuban coffee in Miami. So I see the future here. This one seems like an easy one.
Travis
Kelce. You got it?
Come on.
Shout out to the people who made this board. This
is the best graphic ever. Good job, Seth. We love it. Okay, next one. You get Raheem. He's got it.
The legend
Rushing
continues
touchdown.
to grow.
Yeah, I think it's
people sleeping on Raheem. It's like, ooh, it's all Kyle Shanahan. No, this man knows
It's
how
all
to
Kyle
run.
Shanahan.
I like it.
Another obvious one, but let's get that. Make sure we get that George.
Let's make him a little bigger. Yeah.
Let's make him bigger.
Okay.
He's
I think
number
Kittle's
1.
got to.
Whoa.
Yeah,
wow.
that's what I'm saying.
You might be teasing your pick.
Okay, great.
He's the
And
red
then
zone guy.
last but not least, this one's a sneaky one. Do you have your pen and paper out? You ready for this one?
Let's do it.
You see this? Kendrick
A Kendrick Bourne
Bourne.
touchdown. He's had a great playoff.
Bourne.
I like that.
He's
He's
come
an
on strong
unsung
late.
hero.
Kendrick Bourne, also against Rashad Benton,
Great
sneaky good player. That's kind of where they
Great
match
in
up.
the red zone. Reminds me a little of T.O.
T.O.?
T.O., that's a big compliment.
That's nothing of Hawk. No, remind you of Hawk? All right, fine. Well, it is time now to welcome in a couple of guys who are no strangers to big game experience. We are joined now by a couple of guys that, as we mentioned, are no strangers to playing in the big game. That's right, Super Bowl champs and New England Patriots twins, Devin and Jason McCourty, are on Game Day View. What's up, guys?
Man, appreciate you having us. It's
yeah,
always
Miami.
a good time.
Miami treating you well?
Miami is, man. I live in Jersey in the off season, so it's a lot warmer down here. I'm enjoying the palm trees.
You got to love it, man. You got to love it. All right,
For
so
sure.
you guys have played against the Kansas City Chiefs. So my question for you is, how are the 49ers supposed to neutralize this Chiefs speed?
I think you have to help with the front four. Like, you have to get to Patrick Mahomes. You can't let him drop back. And they don't need a lot of time to get deep down the field because they have so much speed. But you got to try to put pressure on him, make him roll to his left, try to make it tough for him to throw some of those tough throws that he makes. But I think San Fran does have the guys that can cover. Anytime you're out there with Sherman, I think Jimmy Ward is a guy who is very fast in the back end. So be able to go left and right, really cover up the whole back end of the field. I think they have a better shot than people think.
Yeah.
I know Bill Belichick doesn't like, when you guys answer these types of questions, but Patrick Mahomes got to be the toughest quarterback you guys face, right? He is?
Yeah. I mean,
Why?
Lamar Jackson, him, it's just pick your poison. Like, he can make every throw. He can scramble to the right and throw the ball 70 yards down the field.
Like,
That's
would
hard
you
to
rather
cover.
face someone like him or earlier in your career someone like Peyton Manning?
I mean,
How would you like to die?
listen, Pat Mahomes looks way better doing it, but you can't just say, like, hey, I'd rather play Peyton
I'm
Manning.
just curious. Okay.
I'd rather both those guys be on a bye week.
You rather play the Browns, right? Don't answer that. You and me, Jason.
answer it.
Don't.
Okay,
Really?
so we need some help understanding a little bit more about stopping the run. So we've seen the Niners have this incredible playoff run where they haven't had to pass a ton. So can you tell us a little bit about how do you stop that? How do you stop Raheem Mostert? What would you do if you were prepping for them?
It starts up front. Those first four or five guys being able to attack the offensive line and get off blocks, and then your linebackers at the second level, if you can keep them clear and they can go sideline to sideline and be able to hit the running back's flesh, it enables you to be able to stop the run.
Yeah, and I think you saw Kansas City do that against Tennessee,
Yeah.
especially in that second half of being able, especially when Chris Jones was kind of limited playing on third down. When he got in there, he was just getting vertical. He's messing up. Henry had to stop, restart. So I
Yeah.
think that's what they'll try to do. And I think another good way to stop the run is if Kansas City scoring points. So now you can't sit there and run every play. So I think it'll really be a battle of two different styles Sunday.
So when you're playing against this Chiefs offense, and who do you think the 49ers have a better chance of stopping as far as the matchup is concerned? Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce?
You got to stop Tyreek Hill first because he can beat you from the opposite goal line to the touchdown. He can catch a ball for 5 yards and take it 95 yards for a touchdown. So to me, he can open the game up and change the score in a blink. So you have to stop him first.
Who do you think is going to have a bigger impact on this game, Tyrann Mathieu or Richard Sherman?
Man,
Tough questions, man. Welcome to the analyst seat.
I play safety, so I just believe because it's hard if we just don't throw at Sherman and we just attack the other side of the field, we can do that. But I think Tyrann Mathieu is a guy that he's a better player when he's around the action, and I think Kansas City has done a good job of that. Spagnola's put him where the action is going to be. He's blitzing, he's down, he's robbing. So I think he's just going to be around the football all day.
See, so I know a lot of Chiefs and 49ers talk. That's nice. It's a big game. I'm from Massachusetts,
There
so
we go.
I'm a little bit of a Patriots homer here. I got to throw in one question. Last Super Bowl, your defense against the Rams, is that the greatest performance by Twins in the history of the world? What Twins performance tops that?
no other Twins played in the Super Bowl. So
But I think
Forget the Super
I agree
Bowl.
with
I'm
you.
just talking
Overall,
about
as
life.
twins,
Yeah.
I mean,
Life.
how could we go against ourselves in that? I just think overall, for twins everywhere, you're right.
3
it's the
points.
greatest performance
For
ever.
twins
Yeah.
everywhere.
Twins
I'm going
everywhere.
with the Griffins brothers. So,
Dang, just straight like that.
all right. So what are you guys doing down here with Mountain Dew?
Yeah, so we've been with Mountain Dew today, and Mountain Dew has a new product, new Super Bowl commercial. It's been a while since they've had a Super Bowl commercial, but Mountain Dew Zero Sugar is coming out. They just launched a commercial yesterday. If you ever seen the movie The Shining, some of the kids around here are a little younger, so I don't know if they have.
or if they want to.
Yeah,
It's a little scary.
It's a little
very
scary movie, but there's twins in the movie that keep popping up, scaring everybody. So that's why we've been with Mountain Dew. We're the twins in it. I'm like, and then it's The Shining, classic movie. Mountain Dew, classic drink. That's me.
Yeah.
But the new kid on the block, that's
That's me.
him.
New-
Brought him on.
The new hot thing.
Yeah, so
New hot. You
thing.
threw that in there. I like
it's been
that.
a good,
like
it's
that.
been a
That's
good fit
classic.
today.
Marketing top notch. All right, well, you guys are going to stick around. Greg, why don't you take us through some
I'm
sneaky good
excited. We got the
storylines?
McCourty twins here for the final Sneaky Good segment of the year. Sneaky Good storylines in the Super Bowl. Let's start off with the D Ford revenge game. Not a lot of people talking about that.
Sneaky good
Andy
storyline for
Reid
sure.
basically said, Frank Clark's better than you. I'm choosing Frank Clark over you, D Ford. On Sunday, it's up to D Ford to prove him wrong.
Here you go. I like it.
I
What
like
we got
that. I
next?
think that's a good storyline.
You know
right
what's a little sneaky too?
Yeah, yeah.
Patrick Mahomes sneaky revenge game. They didn't draft him in San Francisco.
True.
Let's go to the next big sneaky good storyline. I'm talking about the Hot Boys. I am fascinated by this group of linebackers with the 49ers. Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw running around there like their hair is on fire. Quan Alexander a little bit too. These guys could change this game.
I think the Cowboys were mad, though, because the Cowboys said they had the hot boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was their D-line.
They
with the
kinda
Hot Boys.
they
How
added
many
an extra
Z's, though?
Z.
Right,
Yeah,
it's the second Z.
Yeah,
that
they
makes
got the
it extra.
lukewarm boys.
Yep,
I
exactly.
mean, Lil Wayne's in the real hot boy.
You can't be hot boy and not be in the
Let's
playoffs.
be real. And then finally, this is our final Sneaky Good segment. It's our final show of the year. How about the chemistry of this team? I know we have two Super Bowl teams playing on Sunday, but how about the three of us? We started out a little rough this
Yeah.
season. We built our game throughout the year, and at the end, we're showing championship form, and we're trying to repeat in
I'm gonna have a tear
2022.
here.
You do that with us on set?
Yeah,
I mean,
this
how
is
about,
chemistry.
And we
how
got your
about this
chemistry, too.
Yeah, this,
No,
this
no, 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 no.
this-
If all you had was chemistry to look at and couldn't see our faces, you would think we were the triplets.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
those guys, they wish they could build our kind of chemistry. All right. Thank you to the McCourty twins for joining us here on Game Day View.
Appreciate you
And
having
enjoy the
us.
game today, fellas.
Definitely.
Let's talk scores and more in More or Less.
Let's
Foam
do it.
Fingers.
Let's do it.
They look really good this early in the morning.
Yeah. Look at that
Like
background.
the
You can't
production
All right.
value can only
You
go
ready?
up so much.
Let's
we
start
still
with
got
the
the
game.
foam fingers. Let's do it.
Let's start with the game. You ready?
Let's do it.
Super Bowl 54. More or less than 54 points. See what I did there? You see what I did
I
there?
see what you
Okay,
did
I was
there.
I'm a
making
little
sure.
worried
Just
when it
making sure.
feels too obvious. Doesn't this feel too obvious?
Yeah,
More?
it does.
It's a
which
trap?
is why
Think it's
we
a trap?
went more or less
I
than
mean,
think
are
it's
you
a sneaky
confident
trap?
in it? Is Cynthia confident?
It's not the most confident thing I've ever
Okay.
had. 52.4% of the simulations have more. I have 56 points in the game.
I say you book it.
They
It's
could,
happening.
they could both be in the 30s. This thing could go over 60.
Okay, you ready? More or less than 4 combined sacks in Super Bowl 54. We're just going to say Super Bowl 54 in all of them.
Less.
I talked about it before. Patrick Mahomes avoids those sacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but does Jimmy Garoppolo?
Not
They hand the
really.
ball off a lot, though.
I have more than
I
4.
think they run a lot.
I
You
have
going
more?
more?
than 4. I have
All
more
right.
than 4. I think
Shoulder
they're going to
Simeon.
have to pass.
She's
That's
ready.
like a game
When how can I vote one way, Cynthia goes the other, go with Cynthia.
Yes. We're idiots, so there's
Okay.
that. Go ahead.
More or less than 3 combined field goals in Super Bowl 54.
Ah.
Do the math, carry the 1, add
Less.
the 3, subtract.
I think there's going to be a lot of possessions in this game. There's going to be a lot of scoring.
Well, I mean, if I have a high score, so it kind of makes sense to
there's
have.
going to be a lot
I
of
think they're
field goals.
punching it in.
Shout out to Harrison
touchdowns.
Butker,
Exactly.
secret superstar.
All right.
Finally, and this one is very fun. You ready? I'd sing it for you, but I can't sing.
No.
Finally, will the national anthem be more or less than 2 minutes? Demi
Ooh,
Lovato.
Demi Lovato.
She's- The pipes.
No, she's showcasing
I've
that
done some
voice.
scouting. You know,
She's
she's
coming
been out
back.
of the mix for a little while.
Yeah,
this
she's
is her
coming
big
back.
comeback.
Th-
She's going to want that
Showcasing it.
spotlight.
Agreed.
That's it.
We're done.
We are it. That's it.
That's it.
Last more or less of
That's
the
it.
year, baby. Our next guest is a limousine riding, Rolex wearing, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing wrestling icon who's having a hard time keeping those alligators down. The nature boy. Woo! Ric Flair joins us on Game Day View. Rick, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having
Absolutely. I would imagine this is your first time in Miami.
me. Yeah, right.
No? Okay. Maybe not. You enjoying Super Bowl 54 week?
I'm having a great time, yes. Yep.
How are you going to
Awesome.
put me next to Ric Flair with all this? Like right before we started
Come on.
taping, he said the quote, "Yeah, I was hanging out with Offset last night, and we were comparing
No,
our
he's
bling."
got a new show on Fox.
Okay, so
We're
how
gonna
does it
show
feel that you mean something to this next generation of athletes and
it's
people like Offset that
culture.
you are
It's probably
comparing
the most
your bling with
rewarding
them?
thing I've ever. You know, it started with Snoop, and we've become friends for so many years. And you know, when you say all that stuff, and I started wearing jewelry back in the '80s, you never thought that it would transcend to this, but it's been an amazing experience. And the Migos, Offset, Quavo, and Takeoff they're the greatest. They really are.
You were doing it when it wasn't even cool
Yeah,
yet.
I know. And who knew it, right?
And here we are, and it's still just as cool as ever.
Absolutely.
No, I have to go out and buy stuff every week to keep up with those guys.
Oh,
You
man.
should have seen Offset and Quavo last night, man. My God.
I got to tuck my watch. I'm going to
I
take
know
my
he's
watch
Yeah.
got to.
off.
I'm
I'm not
waiting
wearing
until
it.
my
Not
next
enough bling. I'm
contract
going
to
to
really
just tuck
catch
it under here out of respect.
Yeah,
for
I've never
Mr.
gotten a check
Ric
from
Flair.
Rolex yet.
Rick, you played football. You were recruited to the Minnesota?
Minnesota.
What position did you play?
Well, I have to always clarify this because I'll get called on it. I got recruited to play there, and when I was a freshman, freshmen weren't eligible back then.
Ah.
So back in the 70s. So I never actually played. I played freshman on the freshman team, but never played varsity. But I got recruited there in Iowa and a couple other schools. But I went as a linebacker. But after I ran the first 40, which I'd ever run in my life, I was playing offensive guard the next day. So those 5'9" 40s weren't working on outside linebacker.
That's my same time, actually.
Yeah, I thought I was fast in high school, right? Forget it. Yeah, college is a whole different world. So
I know it.
All right, so what is your favorite NFL team?
Well, my favorite team, because I live there, of course, is the Falcons. I know I lived in Charlotte for years, and I try to cheer for the team, your home team. As growing up, my favorite team, not growing up, as I've gone through life, my favorite team was the 49ers. You know, with Joe.
And I know you're a Jim Harbaugh fan.
Yeah, I'm a Jim Harbaugh fan. When Jim went there, of course, that was a big deal for me.
Right.
And I actually went out. The company asked me to go out and do a little promotional thing with the 49ers with Jim was there on the run to the Super Bowl. And your very own Steve Smith was with the Panthers, man. Steve, I haven't seen him since. I hear he's in town. He was with my daughter last night, actually. So he went wild. So, but I was doing that on behalf of the company. WWE, they tell you to go, you go. But anyway, so tomorrow's a big day and all that, and or today rather is a big day for the game and fans all around the world. So, I've lost track of time. Here we are. So, I'm just thrilled to be here, and I did play, but not at the varsity level.
So if you're a Falcons fan and you got a soft spot for the 49ers, you must be like a big Kyle Shanahan guy. Because I don't know how the Falcons fans...
Well, I'm a big Kyle Shanahan guy, except for the play he called where he had Matt Ryan roll out against the Patriots and got sacked for a 20-yard loss.
That's Hawk's guy. He coached Hawks back in the day.
Kyle had to
Kyle
move
Shanahan.
out of Atlanta.
Oh.
We're on the 20-yard line, guys. Kick a field goal while we roll it out.
No
man, we're here in the Super Bowl now, Rick.
I know.
Let bygones be bygones.
Well, you brought up Kyle. I couldn't help it. That's why I'm pulling for the Chiefs.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I love it. If nothing else, I want Andy Reid.
Andy Reid to win?
Andy Reid deserves
it, too.
Yeah. We have something in common. He had a son that had a problem of the same one that mine had. And I've never met Andy Reid, but I have a ton of respect. I know what he went through here.
Yep.
And he's been a phenomenal coach, this close, and with Mahomes and Kelsey and Hardeman, the kid from Georgia, and Tyreek. I mean, it's going to be tough. I think the key to the game is to keep the 49er defense on the field.
Yep.
Fatigue makes cowards of us all. I mean, and those guys run. I don't think anybody until you've played sports knows. I mean, to rush the passer every play.
It's tiring.
Hey, oh, my God. Those guys are such fan of Bosa, and these kids are the D Ford, right? And, and those guys. No, Ford's on Kansas City now.
From Kansas City to
the 49ers. And Clark is, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Free agency. But to rush that passer play after play after play with a 15, 20-second chance to catch or win, it's a lot. So
it takes a toll.
To verify, that means you have the Chiefs winning. We predict things on this show, so you're predicting a Chiefs win, right?
I'm predicting a Chiefs win.
Got it.
I think that they stay on the field a long time. Mahomes is the most spectacular guy I've ever seen. I'm a big fan of Russell Wilson and Lamar, but this kid is something special, and he can throw the ball
quarter mile
any way he wants to throw it.
Yeah.
So.
No, he's amazing. All right, so where can we find official Ric Flair gear at?
RicFlairShop.com. Wow, we got that plug?
Yeah.
Get that
I got that there. You
Come on.
I mean,
this?
the watch there?
No, you got to get that. You have to go to Iceman Nick in Houston.
Iceman Nick also plugged on the
Free
show.
plug for Iceman Nick.
Now I'm
Thank
going to
you for
be
being
the Ric Flair merchandise wearing.
There you go, yeah.
Thank you for being on our show, and thank you for being such a good girl, Dad.
Oh, thank you
We really
so much.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I love my daughter to death.
Now it is time for picks from the neighborhood, presented by Applebee's. All right, first pick, coin toss, heads or tails. Come on, Cynthia, you first.
In 50% of the simulations, my mom has tails.
It's always tails. People
Jesus.
that don't trust the person that takes
Tails never
Fails.
fails. Am I right? All
I'm
right,
into
next
it.
up, we got which team will score first?
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
I like it.
I like the Chiefs, too, to go out first. I know
Who's
the
going to do it,
49ers
though?
are a fast.
Is it going to be a pass? Is it going to be a run? Is it going to be
It's going to be Mahomes.
I think I have Mahomes.
I'm
like
actually
himself.
going with the 49ers scoring first.
Okay.
Ooh,
They get the
spicy.
ball.
So used
They-
to coming from behind.
You know what? There you go. I like that. All right, next one. What color Gatorade will be dumped on the winning head coach?
Guys, I have some intel here.
What do you got?
I've heard that both teams are going to have purple to honor Kobe. So
Ooh.
if you did want to think about this and tell your friends
That's
at your
some
Super Bowl
inside
party,
scoop.
That is
that's
an
the inside scoop honoring Kobe.
I like that.
Purple's
what do you
the
got?
favorite.
Well, I can't go against that
can't
now,
go
but
against that.
lime is the best. So
I picked
that's the one
orange,
I want
but
to
now I'm
drink.
changing my pick.
Change it.
to
Most
purple.
people think they thought it was going to be red ahead of
Yeah.
that. You heard it here first. It's purple.
All right, so now we should probably get to the actual game.
Oh, wait.
Super Bowl 54.
What game?
I'm
Oh,
not
got it.
sure.
Okay.
That's going on today. Somebody's been talking about it. All right, the Chiefs are favored by just 1 point, Cynthia. Who do you got and why?
I have the Chiefs winning by 2 points. 29-27, 56 points. That's how you got there. Boom.
All right, well, you know what? I like that. I am going with the 49ers. I've been picking the Chiefs all week, and I think it was a happiness pick because my heart is kind of with the 49ers. I don't know why. I want them to win. But then also, the Chiefs, if I pick them, they're really good. I love Patrick Mahomes, and it's like a no-lose. But I'm changing that right here.
So you
I'm
pick
going
all
with
of
the
them
49ers.
right,
Well,
depending
what
on when
makes
someone
a
heard you.
difference?
Because I heard that the Chiefs aren't wearing pads the last couple of weeks, and I think they're going to get bullied.
There is something about us being down here in Miami. I've been here the whole week. And like Hawk, I changed my pick during the week, too. Halfway through the week, I went to the 49ers. My heart says Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. That's what I want to see. But I think my head says the 49ers. I think they are the better
You
team.
guys are Niners. I'm Chiefs.
This is a bad
Chiefs
sign,
Kingdom.
though. I got it in
Chiefs
a high-scoring
Kingdom.
game.
Come on. Chiefs Kingdom. Come help me out
I
here.
look at the 49ers, and I just see they present so many problems at every level on both sides of the ball.
I know.
You're
And I
trying to tell me
trust his boy
defense
Kyle.
travels?
I do.
trust his boy Kyle at the end, but every
More than
position
Andy Reid.
group-
28-3, anybody?
The 49ers are the better team.
Here's the thing.
The Chiefs have the better quarterback.
The Chiefs are the more likely team to blow a 28-3 lead. I don't quite trust Andy Reid with a big lead to stay aggressive. Kyle Shanahan has learned from
He's
his
learned.
mistakes.
He's learned.
I think so.
All right,
Either
well,
way, it's a win.
look, it's time to
Ranking.
talk most valuable player. Time now for In the Hunt, presented by Hunters on Amazon Prime Video. Squad, who do you think will win Super Bowl 54 MVP? Cynthia, starting with you.
I'm going to keep it simple. I have the Chiefs winning the game. I have Patrick Mahomes being the MVP because, let's face it, more often than not, it is the quarterback that gets that honor of the winning team. Let's just keep it simple, fam.
I like it. That's a genius pick. Let me start there. I'm going with a sleeper pick. I'm going Matt Breida with the
my
49ers. All right? We know a lot
We
about
haven't even
Mostert.
seen him play in
I
weeks.
know. It's like, you know what? Let's get him going again. So I'm going with an under-the-radar guy that no one expects to do it.
George Kittle more likely than him. in my
No,
opinion.
trust me,
IMO.
it's Breida.
He looked great last year. Hawk and I both tried to get too cute with these picks. I'm going Super Bowl MVP Deebo Samuel. This is a lot more likely than Matt Breida. I mean, Matt Breida hasn't even played in the last couple of weeks. Give me a break. Deebo Samuel, yards after the catch. If I could give the ball to one player on the 40-yard line of either team, and he's got to figure out a way to get into the end zone,
Tyreek
get
Hill.
past every play. No, it's not Tyreek.
Tyreek
It's
Hill.
Deebo Samuel. He's like a
It's
young
Tyreek Hill.
Anquan Bolden making people miss.
Tyreek Hill.
Cynthia is so embarrassed of us right
Not
now.
at all.
Listen, before we close things out, let's take a sneak peek at Hunters, streaming on Amazon Prime Video on February 21st.
They are among us, and they have plans. So the time to act is now.
You put together a group of Nazi owners. How did Nazi get into the States?
I must send a message. I want to know who you are! Welcome to the hunt.
They're coming to America.
All right, now let's make our bold prediction for tonight's game in Monday morning timeline. Guys, what will we be tweeting about tomorrow morning after the Super Bowl?
Well, you know, I'm also covering the Puppy Bowl today. So
Big
ahead of the
deal.
Super Bowl, I've got a lot of pregame responsibilities. So my tweet, I happen to take home one of the dogs. And I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh.
How
The
much
dog-
you love this?
The dog's name is more likely than not going to be Andy Reid. after the winning coach.
Not
All
just
one
Andy.
word. Well, I mean Andy for short, but like Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
When I yell it at the yard, Andy Reid, you gotta come. We gotta
Can't
come
top
home.
puppies. I mean,
Yeah,
how
it's
we
gonna
gonna
be
how
hard.
we gonna top that?
Kyle Shanahan is going to say, sit Andy Reid today. Greg, you're up.
All right, it's our last Monday morning timeline of the year. I'm going back to the Patriots. This is Bill Belichick watching Jimmy G win a Super Bowl for another franchise. It's like the one that got away. He wanted Jimmy G to be his guy.
He knew it. He knew he was the one. All right, throw my tweet up there. I think you'll know who it's referencing. It's no surprise here. Someone decided to run the ball in the Super Bowl.
Matt Breida.
Yes, Matt Breida
Little Breida.
is going to go. He's going to get an increase of carries today with this Super Bowl MVP.
Hawk's just trying to get invited to is post-game party with the 49ers and his boy Kyle.
Absolutely. Listen, thank you all for watching all season long. Thank you to everyone behind the camera who is responsible for this show. We love you. Enjoy Super Bowl 54, and we'll see you next season.